Hey guys, today's video is going to be on how to get this look with highlights and lowlights on a natural level 5 base. So I'm going to use all L'Oreal products. I use the L'Oreal Bleach with 20 volume, and I also use a half of 901S, 1/4 0.2V, which is a high lift, and then 1/4 0.12. I use 20 volume on this, and I kind of use it as a low light. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to start from the front. I like to start from the front because most people who want their hair lightened, they want the lightest part around their face. So of course that's going to lift the fastest. I took a slice out from the front and then I weaved it and I teased it only because I didn't want it to be too high up on the front and look too much like strict highlights instead of more of a balayage look. Also, I always leave that front piece out, especially when dealing with somebody who has dark features or dark eyebrows. You want that part right in the front just to be a little bit darker or just blend a little bit better. Then I took out another slice and I weaved again and I did another highlight. So this is the bleach that I'm using and I'm teasing it. The tease will just make for a better transition or a better blend instead of it being like harsh traditional highlights as I had mentioned. So this again is another bleach. So far I did 2 bleach foils and I left a little bit of virgin hair in between just because I think it'll look nice. Now I'm going to take another section and I'm going to again slice it, then I'm going to weave it and I'm going to tease it because again I want it to be kind of a soft blend from her natural color. And I'm putting in the low light color, which is not going to be darker than her natural base level, which is a 5, but it is not going to be as light as that highlight color, the bleach color. So it's just going to give it some dimension and just kind of let the dark root blend. And so it won't look so bad with having a level 5 base and then all bleach blonde highlights. We didn't want that. But on every low light, so to speak, that I did, I went right behind it and I back to back, I did a highlight right behind it. Just because I didn't want it to be a super separation between the last highlight and then that low light, so to speak. I wanted it to be highlight low light so that it's not too dark. I'm not sure I'm explaining that right, so let me try again. I pretty much didn't want there to be a huge chunk of root color from the last highlight and then the low light color and just make it look way too dark. So anytime that I did that low light color, I just wanted to make sure I put a highlight right next to it. So you'll see, again, this is just the pattern that I'm doing. I'm doing the slice, then I'm weaving it, then I'm teasing it. I don't need a low light for every highlight, but I do need a highlight for every low light. I think that makes sense. So this one's just going to be a single highlight in between 2 virgin roots, and then I'm going to take another slice. I'm going to tease it and weave it, of course. So weave it first, then tease it, and I'm going to be putting in that low light color, which again is not as dark as a level 5, but it's just going to help that level 5 base blend with the highlights. So this is going to be that color, and then after I do this, I'm just going to lift it up and just do a highlight right on back behind it. So that is going to be the pattern for pretty much all of these highlights. I think I explained that much better that time. But anyway, so now I'm going to go in and I'm not going to tease it after I weave it. Just because I want to break up some of that dark level 5 base and I just don't want all of the highlights to be starting after the tease. I just want to break it up so it's like more dimensional and there's just more depth in the hair and it just looks more interesting and less like just grown out roots. We don't want that to be the look. So this one I am not teasing, and then the highlight right behind it, which again I said anytime I do the low light I always back it up with the highlight. Again, I'm not teasing it. I'm not going all the way to the root because I also don't want it to look weird, but I'm not teasing it, so I'm getting closer to the root than I was when I was teasing it. So I did start alternating that in the back where I would do a little bit closer and then I would tease it and then I wouldn't tease it and then I would tease it. So that is the pattern for the rest of the head. Because she had so much blonde on the ends of her hair, I did always leave that out whenever I did a foil. I never want to re-bleach the ends, and I also didn't want to put the low light on the ends and have it pick up a little bit different color than it was on the top of the hair. So I did always leave the ends of her hair out. As you can see, there's a little bit more than half a head of highlights, and then I toned it with 20 volume, which is permanent color. I did 1/2 0.12, I did 1/4 0.22, and then 1/4 0.11. As the toner is processing, it looks very purple, but don't worry, that's just going to negate any of the unwanted brassiness or unwanted undertones. I also had a little bit of blue in that base, and this is the end result. I also did her makeup, so stay tuned for a video of me doing her makeup as well. I hope you guys like this video. Thank you guys so much for your love and support, and I hope to see you in my next video. Until next time, work hard, dream big, eat cake. Bye, guys.